What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the content we have coming out. Now for this video, we're going to be jumping into Nocterra issue number 2. This is Scott Snyder's indie comic coming from Image Comics. Now, if you didn't catch issue number 1, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of the video. It'll get you completely caught up on this really awesome line. It's something unique, something new that personally I have really appreciated so far, and I'm going to be investing in at least for the next few issues. And as long as the story continues to get, better than it is right now, I'm all in on it. Now, as I said, this was written by Scott Snyder. The art is by Tony Daniel, colors are by Tomi Mori, and letters are by Anworld Design. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright, so as we get into this issue, we pick up before everything happened, before the Shades took over the world and everybody had to travel with light all the time, or they had fear of getting eaten by these night monsters. And right now, Val and Amori, they're still kind of young, and definitely Amori. And right now, Val is trying to gather supplies, as many batteries as possible. Because while everybody else may be optimistic on what's going to happen, she's not. She's preparing for the worst. Now, Amori, he's so confused right now. He's still a kid, and everyone around them is really more optimistic than she is. And he tells her, they're gonna laugh at you. You're gonna look dumb because they could be right. And if they're right, you doing everything that you're doing is going to be pointless. He's a kid trying to figure out the world. And he poses the question like, how do we know this isn't heaven? Or how do we know this isn't at least the lobby before we get into heaven? How do we know that this isn't meant to be? And Val tells him maybe. What else can you tell somebody? You don't want to take away all of their hope, especially when they're at this age. So maybe is really the best thing that you can do here. And this is where we cut over to present day. And we have the semi-truck hauling butt through the darkness, blasting all of her lights, scaring away, possibly even killing a couple of these Shades, because right now they're on their way, taking these two individuals to this kind of safe haven they're claiming is there. And it's a long trek, it's hundreds of miles through the darkness. And right now they're at mile 245. And at this point in their drive, they have to pull over. And they pull over to a place called Neon Grove. Now, Neon Grove is a port, kind of like a truck stop, but they stopped referring to those as truck stops quite a while ago. And they refer to everybody, as ferryman. It's all nautical terms, if you will. And so Neon Grove is one of these ports that all the ferrymen have set up. Because the unique thing about this world is all the semi-trucks are electric. And so they have to be charged up. And that's exactly what these little ports are for. It's to charge up their vehicles to get them to the next port. Now, as Val kind of wanders off, the old man that she's transporting comes up and really wants to have a discussion with her. A discussion before his granddaughter can come up and say anything. Because what he wants to say is that with his brother, he invented a machine that was supposed to see invisible cosmic particles, matter that passes through our universe without interacting with anything, not even light. And so they believe these particles don't interact with light here because they're from an alternate matter of planes, where there may be different forms of light alien to them. They call those planes Terras, and him and his brother, they poised 9, and theirs being the 4th. Now this machine, it was supposed to capture particles from the first Terra, the brightest of all of them. It's the one at the base of everything, and they want to observe them, billions of them, thereby making them material and opening a doorway to Lux Terra, a plane of heavenly light. But the machine, something went wrong. It found the wrong particle and opened the wrong door. Now he wants to be able to fix this and try to save everybody. And after dropping all of this on her, he's like, all right, I'll stop because I know this might be a little much to take in. And Val's response is, all right, well, what I do know is Shades can sense fear. And right now, this little Shade that we've trapped in this box, it's sensing you. And so I want you to stand there and I'm going to use you as bait. And as she releases it, she drives her knife into the creature, killing it. Maybe at one time it had been a cat, possibly even a dog. And Val tells him that she's seen a lot of fake sunburns over the years. Rashes from different parts of flowers, if you will. And his is actually pretty believable. It's actually one of the best that she's actually seen ever. But she knows that he is familiar enough with flora. Enough to know that he needs to hold that particular bud in his hand at the base of the stem, or his hand would swell up and start to stink. And so he's been out here. He's been out in this wilderness, not hiding out in some sanctuary. And so her thoughts are, you can lie to whoever you like. I really don't care who you're lying to about saving the world or doing whatever you want to do. But as long as I get my money, I don't give a crap. Like, there's nothing about this I care about. And then we pick up with Amori. And Val's sitting in the truck and they're having a conversation. And Amori needs to tell her something. He goes to tell her kind of the same story that the old man did. And she's like, yeah, I heard that story and I really just don't care. But before they can even get into discussing it further, she sees his hand. The infection. It's moving faster than it should be. And she's tripping. She's worried. This is her brother and this infection is about to take him if they don't get him to some kind of light. But this is when her CB goes off. And it's Bellwether, letting her know that there's somebody chasing him. Chasing all of them. Someone that goes by the name of Blacktop Bill. And Bellwether, she lets her know, like, this is serious. This guy, he's taken out some people and he's destroyed all of our rigs. So wherever you are, get off the road and get off the road now. Now, at first, Val's super confused. She's like, why? Like, what happened? What are they after? What are they looking for? Why are they after me? And Bellwether tells her, like, they're not after you. They're after who you're carrying with you. And this is when Val grabs her gun and sticks it right in the old man's face. And tells him that he needs to come clean. You need to spill the beans right now. Because she just lost some friends. And she needs some answers. But before he can start actually saying anything, we see Blacktop Bill make his arrival with his gang of people, and he taps directly into her helmet, and he lets her know, like, I'm not here for you. If you just give me those two, we can call this a day. I won't bother you. I won't do nothing. And Val's question is, what are you gonna do with them? And of course, he wants to kill them. The girl, she'll have a quick death, but the man, he's gonna make him suffer for all of his crimes against humanity. And Val's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this. Like, you're a psychopath. You're freaking crazy. Nah, I'm good on this. And Blacktop Bill lets her know, I know what I am. I always have known. But if you run right now, I will catch you. And after killing them, I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna kill your brother. Or you can give me those two right now, and I can save your brother's life. And he lets her know, like, the people I work for, they have the solar lamp you're looking for to be able to get rid of the infection on your brother. And we see Val start to slowly back up. She's thinking about this because at the end of the day, this is about her brother's life. And the old man in the back, right now, he's pleading with Val. He's just like, please, I beg you, I will literally tell you anything you want to know right now. Just don't hand us over to him. And this is where she asks, like, how much of everything that you told me is actually the truth? And he lets us know that he is Dr. Augustus McCrae, a theoretical physicist. And he did help invent the machine that he described. But he's never been to the sanctuary where it was built and tested. He's been out scourging the land to try to stay alive, just like everybody else. But he lets her know that that sanctuary, it does exist. And it has what she needs to be able to save her brother. And Val, right now she's conflicted, to say the least. Because how can she believe him? And she asks him that. How can I believe that you're telling the truth to me? And he says, because the machine, it was incapable of a mistake. It looked at the center of the universe to find light, to find heaven, and instead, this is what it found. The worst darkness. And there's no way back. This is hell, and they're staying here forever. This can't be changed. There's no reversing it. This is now life. And that's enough for her. That's enough for Val. Because if you're going to tell me, like, there is actually no cure, this is hell, we are damned for the rest of our lives, for the rest of humankind, that's not something you're going to lie about. And so she hits the gas, dropping 2 canisters behind her, and they're able to make their escape. Now this only intrigues Blacktop Bill more, and now the chase is on, and that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So far, Nocterra has been knocking it out of the park, at least in my opinion. I really am enjoying this story. It's unique, it's a lot of fun. You know, Blacktop Bill really has me thinking that he's got to be some kind of shade. You know, he destroyed those semi-trucks simply by touching them. So there's something unique about him, and they really aren't telling us too much. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this comic. How do you like the artwork? How do you like the story? Do you think Scott Snyder does well outside of the main comics? You think this indie comic of his, do you think it's hitting it out of the park, or do you think it's going to be a flop in the end? Let me know down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and until the next breakdown.